guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Neha and I make videos related to books, and welcome to hopefully what is finally a reading vlog. Today is the 1st of October. It is a Thursday evening. Tomorrow is a public holiday, so I have a day off and I plan to read, I plan to film videos, and I plan to edit the videos and post them as well. Let's see how far I get onto that, because every weekend I do make these plans and just somehow I'm never able to execute them. But let's hope for the best tomorrow. I did start a new book. I started Susan Choi's Flashlight. This has been shortlisted for the Booker Prize this year, and I'm about 38 pages into it. I literally just started it today. On the shortlist, I've also read Audition by Katie Kitamura. I did not enjoy it. I loved Katie Kitamura's previous books that I read. This one, I raced through it, but I liked the first book of hers, which is Interpretations, I think. I'll put the cover here. I loved that book. So in comparison, I didn't really enjoy this one much, but hopefully I'm planning to do a wrap up tomorrow. So I'll talk more about. So Louisa and her father take a walk out on the breakwater. They are spending the summer in a coastal Japanese town where her father, Cirque, a Korean emigree, completes an academic secondment from his American university. When Louisa wakes hours later, she is soaking wet and hypothermic on the beach, and her father is missing, presumably drowned. So the first chapter is in Louisa's point of view when she's a young girl after her father goes missing, and she's struggling along with her mother in the US. And the second chapter, which I'm in the middle of, is I think from the POV of her father, who is brought up in Japan but is Korean. So when World War II strikes and the Americans take charge of Japan and they liberate Korea, the family is struggling with this option of whether to go back or whether to stay in Japan, which is what they know. So yeah, that's this book.
The next day.
Hello, it's the next day. I just thought I'll make myself some breakfast and talk about the book so far. I finished part 1, Eggs for Me. Wait, let me crack the eggs first and then I will talk to you. I also like to put some milk. I'm having some scrambled eggs. So I finished part 1. And we get to know about Louisa's parents in this book. Her father, Cirque, grows up in Japan but is Korean, and he goes to a Japanese school but always faces inferior treatment. He finishes school. All his siblings end up going to Korean school, so he feels very detached from his family because he learns Japanese and he wants to go to Japanese universities, etc. And he is very smart. His parents decide to move to North Korea because they're promised all these wonderful things by the government and by the organization. He doubts it. He doesn't want to go. He discourages his family to go, but they don't listen to him, so they end up going. And he finishes his education, and his letters from his family make him doubt that things are not well in North Korea. Move to America, and he pursues his graduate studies and his doctoral studies, and he eventually becomes a professor there. He meets Anne, who is an American, and she has an affair with an older man, a married man, has a baby with them, gives up that baby. That baby is eventually adopted by this guy that she was having an affair with. Part 1 ends when he gets a letter from his sister who is in Japan that his father is ill and he's permitted to come to Japan for his treatment from North Korea, and she's begging him to come because he's American. He has a green card. He obviously has higher resources. He is very reluctant to go, and also his family have no idea about his origins and about his mom, dad, sisters, how he came to America. He absolutely have no clue what his history is. So he's very reluctant to do that. But eventually there's this opportunity which comes up for him to kind of have a secondment through his university in Japan. And he deliberates for a long time. And part one ends when he decides to take it up, and he writes to his sister saying that give me some time because I need to tell my family about you guys, about my my origins, because they have absolutely no idea and they're American. So that's where the part one ends. And yeah, so far I am liking it. It's very easy to read, the book. Sirk as a character is somebody who's obviously gone through a lot of trauma, and the way he takes it out on Anne, I don't like. But yeah, I guess trauma can manifest itself in different ways. He's very impatient with her. He's very cruel to her in many times, like verbally cruel. And yeah, it's not a happy marriage in any sense of the word. But yeah, it's a good, interesting book to read. I didn't know about a lot of things about Koreans in Japan and how they were treated before the liberation of Korea. So that is a very interesting perspective, because I have traveled to Korea. I loved Korea, and I've seen firsthand the derision that they have with the Japanese, and I'm understanding a little bit where that has come from. So yes, let's see where part 2 and part 3 takes us, and I will update you. Hello, it's almost 11 p.m. right now, and the holiday is over. Tomorrow's a work day, and I'm just wrapping up my reading for the day. I have finished part 2 as well, so I am now on page 177. In this part, the family finally goes to Japan. Sorry, I don't have my mic and I'm too lazy to go and get it, so please suffer through the bad audio quality with me. But yeah, anyway, the family goes to Japan. Louisa fits right in after some initial turbulent weeks. We actually don't get a Sirk POV, which is very interesting, because he is returning to his homeland. He's talking to his sister, he's talking about his family, but we hear it in fragments and bits and pieces from mostly Louisa's ears. Anne, on the other hand, is really deteriorating. She doesn't know the language. She gets really depressed. She can't stand the stairs. She does not want to step out of her house, and eventually she gets afflicted with some sort of a chronic condition and depression where she just can't really move at all. She also reunites with Tobias, the son that she gave up for adoption, and they meet secretly many times during this Japan stay. The book ends with Sirk disappearing, Louisa and Anne flying back to LA to live with her sister, and yeah, so far I'm liking it. The book is long, it's very character driven. It is not as much lyrical language as is more descriptions. It's more thoughts of these people, and yeah, I am really liking it. It is one of those multi-generational tales which I absolutely love anyway. So yeah, let's see how much I read for the night, and then I will probably update you tomorrow, because I do have to go to office tomorrow.
The next day.
Dying. I did an 8K. I'm sorry, you might not hear me because the fan is on. I have no idea where the mic is, but I will try to speak loudly, but I don't think I have lung power left. But I did an 8K. I was slow as usual. I'll just check if my speed today is faster than last week, but I don't think so. I had to walk 100 meters, 2 stretches, because oh my god, it was so humid. It's like 90% humidity today. Oh my god, the sky is so clear today, and I'm just having my breakfast, half fry eggs with the chili garlic crisp. I have eggs every single day, by the way, because I find that it's the easiest way to get protein in. I don't get bored of eggs. I get bored of chicken and paneer every single day. So yeah, having my breakfast. I've read the paper, the mint lounge. Say hi.
Hi.
Vinayak is not well. He's resting. Are you going to rest today?
Till the evening.
And then we have a concert, a Bollywood concert. My Flash subscription is here. Let's open them. Yeah. You can see a cabbage. What is this? What the fuck is this? It's like a cabbage. What is this flower? No. There's a flower in. No. Yeah, there's like one flower inside. What is this? I need to know. Doesn't smell of anything. It's like purple cabbage. I have chrysanthemums and one random yellow thingy. No clue what this is. These are my favorite because they smell so nice. One lily with two lilies. And then this. Let's go. That's my outfit. Sorry.
The next day.
Sunday morning, iced coffee, book. Let's bang out some pages. I have not read yesterday much at all. I'm at 246. So let me get to the end of this part. I don't know where that would be. And then I'll come chat with you on what I've been doing. Good cup of coffee today. Hi, you're back in my kitchen because apparently my kitchen has good light. That's not the case. Actually, I'm here to make lunch. We do have help. He's come and made bhaji for pav bhaji, which I'm just gonna like pan roast for eating. And I thought I'll chat with you till then. And you know what? In the morning, I bumped into the door here. It is a huge bump on my forehead now. It's just sad. The things that happen in my drowsy state. It's not funny. It's not. It's just not. So I finished part 3 of the book, I think. And the story is really taking some interesting turns. So we now cut to the mother and the daughter, Louisa and Anne, and they have come back to the US. Cirque is presumed dead because you can't find his body, and they just live together. There's a lot of trauma. Anne pretty much has a diagnosis. She has MS, so she has very limited mobility, and somehow and they just don't have a good relationship. Like Louisa is a brat to her mother. It's just so hard to read about. And she goes off to college, and Anne lives in this apartment by herself. She meets this man and they start getting like dinners together, and he has like an interest in Korean history because he worked during the war there, and together they kind of discover something about Cirque, which kind of puts a seed of doubt into Anne's mind about what she really knows about her husband, and you have like these flashbacks of memory from her. Louisa is in college. She goes off to this study abroad program. She goes to London. She spends a few weeks there. Then she goes to Paris to meet her friend, gets kicked out of her friend's brother's apartment. And like in this series of really unfortunate events, she meets this man. And towards the end of the book, she ends up living with that man. They get married. They have a child. She leaves her education. She never goes back to the US. She never meets her mother again. It's like 3 years later. And yeah, that's where the book is. It's just the writing is very descriptive, like it's like thoughts of the characters, which is why I really am liking it. I'm now in book 4, and now we cut to Cirque, who may or may not be dead. It's just I'm still figuring out what is happening. So yeah, I'm really enjoying the book. And I have been editing my video. Hopefully part 1 of my wrap up will go live today. I do want to film a couple more things, and then we'll see. But first, enjoy some pav bhaji for lunch. Lunch is served. Hi guys. It's been a while. It's actually like a week later, and I finally finished Flashlight by Susan Choi today morning. I have just not been reading in the last week because of work, and there was an outbound as well, and I've just not recorded anything because I was actually not reading anything, so it was nothing to record reading wise and life wise. But today I finally finished this book. I think I've explained the plot throughout the course of this vlog, but this is a book about losing family, how that impacts you throughout your adult life, and it also gives a lot of historical context about Japanese born ethnic Koreans and their feelings towards Korea, and especially North Korea, the communist ties that they had, and also some North Korean government antics that they played post the Cold War. So yeah, it was a very interesting book for sure. I think about 3/4 of this book I was really hanging on to every single page and every single word, because the plot really kept me hooked, and the way this author writes is also very like a ramble of consciousness. She has some beautiful details, she has some beautiful lines as well, which helps you in your reading journey. But overall, I think the 1/4 of the book really lost me. There were a few minor characters introduced, and they really took away from the reading experience for me. And by that time, you kind of could figure out what was happening and what was the twist. And I just wished that it was more tightly wound together. But overall, I think it was a very, very interesting story. It's definitely a story that deserves to be read and shared across the world, because this is something that has happened to a lot of people. Losing family members to a government state is something that has happened to a lot of people. So that way, I feel like, yeah, highlighting this book as part of the Booker nominations was a good thing. So definitely do check it out if you like historical novels. I would probably give this 3.5 stars out of 5, just because the last 1/4 really lost me. But yeah, that's it. That's the reading vlog. Hopefully, I hope you liked following along as I read this book. I definitely had a good time with it. And yeah, if you're still here, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you very, very soon.